there's times in life where I just wonder, sometimes what I was thinking, you know, in different aspects of life and different time periods in my life. But it's when it's times like those, and and even, well, in times like these where I'm going through a storm in my life and going through a hard time, and that memories come up of different things, you know, that have happened throughout my life, and different good memories and bad memories. But more often than not, I realize that a lot of the good memories that I have had that I tend to forget. And even when I try to remember them, it's such a far, you know, distant memory that I can't even remember, you know. But one of the biggest ones that maybe not really a regret I have, but something I wish I would have cherished more, is like the voices of people that have left my life. I know that sounds so odd, but it's at times, like hard times I'm going through, that I need that person's voice, like to hear something that they've said to me in the past, or something very wise that they've said that I tend to forget. And I was doing something the other day and listened to a song, and there was not a Christian song or anything like that, but it's just one of those days I was having where I just really needed to hear a voice, and I won't say whose, but someone who's passed away that I was very close to. And it was just one of those moments where I was like, Lord, I need something. I need something to hang on to. I need something to cling on to. And I was listening to one of, I'll just say the song, a One Direction song. And there was a part of the song that came up, and there's the different guys are singing different parts in the song. And there was this part that I was just like, wow, that sounds just like my best friend's voice, you know, that passed away. And I was like, oh my gosh, you know, that sounds just like him. And then I listened to the song today, and it sounds totally different. It doesn't even sound like what it did the other day when I was listening to it. And I just miss those little things, like voices of my relatives that I've lost. My uncle that I was very close to, I used to be able to remember his voice like to a T. Like, you know, I could tell you exactly how he sounded, and now I couldn't tell you at all. And so I'm really funny about, like, people get mad at me for my voicemail being filled up, but honestly it's because I've gotten voicemails from people and I won't delete them because I'm like, what if something happens to them and, you know, I can't hear their voice. But I guess it just kind of goes to show you my personality a little bit. I'm very sentimental like that, I guess. It's really about the voices and stuff of people, and that's how I recognize people. Like, if I hear somebody's voice across the room, I'm like, know exactly who it is who's talking, you know. My brain just kind of works like that. But you know, it's kind of like that with the Lord. It's like when we go through these hard times in our life that are really, really difficult and really, really hard, and we're like, Lord, where are you? Where are you? You know, I can't hear you. And it's like, he's like, have you forgotten my voice? Like, have you forgotten that still small voice that I come to you? And sometimes it's not really even a voice. It's just like a certain feeling you have, but to you it's a voice. And I know that's how I hear the Lord sometimes, is through a still small voice, but it's really not human. I don't know how to even describe it. It's just, you know, spiritual, I guess. And it's like speaking to my, you know, spirit. And it's like we forget his voice, you know, when we're in those hard times and where things are really hard, and we're seeking him through the Bible, and we're seeking through devotions and calling people and saying, I need you to pray for me. And even then we're like, okay, I still don't hear you, Lord. I still don't. And so I think sometimes we have to just stop, like literally just stop and sit there and say, Lord, I want to hear your voice. Like, where are you? Like, I need to hear you. I know you're here. I need to hear your voice. And I guess I'm just realizing those things as I get older. I'm about to turn 20, and, you know, you think you know everything. And I honestly, like, sometimes I think I know everything, you know, and I don't know anything. I'm so naive and stupid. Like, and that's just, let's be honest, I am. And now that I have two little girls in my life, that are angels, and they're the best little sisters I could ever be blessed with. And through certain situations through life, they've come into my life. And it's rough as it can be sometimes, and hard on days, you know, where I'm just having a bad day, and they irritate me. But I wouldn't change it. Like, the Lord has placed certain people in my life for certain times, and in the hardest of times of my family, and my grandmother being in the hospital and very, very sick, and it's 7 days away from Christmas, and we're trying to figure out how we're gonna have 3 Christmases, one with my my step grandmother, and one with my grandmother in the hospital, and then one at our house, and it's so hard and confusing. But that's not what it's about. Like, it's just about family. It doesn't matter about the gifts, it doesn't matter about the money you have or how much food you have. It matters about the relationship you have with the Lord, and making sure your family has that same relationship. And honestly, this Christmas, that's what I could ask for. If I could ask for anything from the Lord, it's like, Lord, give me this for Christmas. It would be that my family would come to the Lord, because there's a lot of them that have gone astray and kind of broke off from my family, and that's just so hard to be where I am spiritually with the Lord and know how much He loves me and cares for me, and then to see my family, some of my family members who don't see that, who don't see the love of the Lord, who don't feel that, who don't have a relationship with Him and know that it's going to be okay through hard times, even though it's hard, and you're like, oh no, it's not going to be okay, I'm going to, I can't make it through this, and then you do. And the Lord never puts on more than you can handle, and He always does a perfect plan, and it's never going to be when you want it to be done. The plan that He has is never going to be fulfilled when you want it fulfilled. He's never late. He's never early, but He is always on time. And when I say on time, I mean like seconds before sometimes throughout my life has happened. And I just thank the Lord for those moments, because I don't know how I would have gotten through anything in my life without the Lord, and especially the last 18 months of my life has been literally living in a blessing. I'll just say the nice word for it, because I have went through this in my life. I've been blessed through this situation in my life with my ankle injury that I had in July of 2012. I've been blessed to bless other people. So the Lord has blessed me to be a blessing to others. And for some reason, I had to go through 3 surgeries and 2 different doctors, and 10 casts and 36 x-rays. There was a reason for everything that happened through that. And I honestly still don't know the reasons, but I am slowly reminded by the Lord that just to be still, and just in the time of transition that I'm in right now, is just in everything I do, no matter what it is, no matter if it's babysitting my little sister or going with my aunt shopping or doing something like that, do it to glorify Him. So, that can be just having a good attitude and not being negative, being positive about things, and just delight myself in Him. And I need to be more intentional about reading my Bible and stuff like that. But honestly, for me, just praying and singing, the video I posted a few minutes ago of singing, just spending time with the Lord and worshiping, that's what I can do to get closer to the Lord, is that. So I don't really know why I made this video. I just felt like the Lord was pulling me towards something. And I know that I don't look great. I have no makeup on. I have my hair pulled up in a ponytail. But there's just something that's kind of changed in me, where I really don't care about that anymore. I don't care what people, how they see me, if they think I'm beautiful, they think I'm ugly, they think I'm fat, think I'm skinny. I don't care. It doesn't matter anymore to me, because in God's eyes, I'm perfect. I'm perfect in the Lord's eyes, and that's how I need to see myself, is there's no flaw in the way I look, and of course there's things that I could do to be healthier. I could work out, I could eat better, and I'm going to do those things, but a lot of people don't know the struggle I've had over the last 18 months, and it's hard to describe people to the struggle I've had. When you go from being a completely independent teenager to completely being torn down where you can't do anything for yourself, and being in pain, shearing pain, and not knowing why for 18 months, or about 15 months out of the 18 months, not knowing why, and to come to find out that you had more damage to your ankle than what they thought, and having to have a 3rd surgery, that's really hard to go through, and being as young as I am, and it's like, in a way I kind of feel like I felt for a long time I've been robbed of a whole year of my life. But honestly, I've matured a lot. I've had a lot of opportunities through the summer, this past summer, getting to work with Harvest Evangelism and work at Hosanna Home, which is a faith-based rehab for women and children, and that was incredible. I could not have asked for a better internship, and I can't wait to go back. And it's supposed to go back this week, actually, I would have been coming back home today. So I'm really missing them, so I hope I get to see them soon. But the Lord has drastically changed my life over this past year, and I couldn't be more thankful for what He's done in my life. So anyways, just be positive. And a quote that I now really like that I saw on somebody's face the other day is, why wish upon a star when you have been given the opportunity to pray to the one who created them? Have a good night.